What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jimmy Wormy, and just a few weeks ago, we ended up having the election of our great orange king, Donald J. Trump, and Hollywood responded the way you would expect them to, seething, freaking out, and admitting to the world just how much they dislike the everyday citizenry. And no better person represents this than Mark Hamill, who after the election, after the resounding rejection of everything that they believed in, tweeted out, "This is not the America we all thought we were living in." Decrying the decisions that the people chose, decrying the president that won both the Electoral College and the popular vote, because he can't accept reality and the fact that nobody cares for him. And all this did was prove that Mark Hamill lives in such a small little bubble and can't handle the fact that people don't like him and don't respect him. But because these people can't accept that they were rejected outright, we are now seeing a mass exodus of X. And a lot of people are going to the brand new safe haven that is Blue Sky because Threads failed. And along with those people were Mark Hamill. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill announces he's quit X for Blue Sky, minutes later posts on X. And the reason, you're seeing these people post on X at the same time, they're so broken that they have to hide within their little echo chambers, but at the same time, they have to hop on over X, say something and then leave because they need the validation. They need to let people know where they are at all times because they think people truly care about them. They think people actually like them. And they can't accept the reality that their opinions don't matter. And following his exodus to Blue Sky, following everything that Mark Hamill did, we recently saw this. Star Wars actor Mark Hamill announces quitting all social media, saying healing takes time, just days after retreating to Blue Sky echo chamber. These people are incapable of handling any form of pushback. These people can't handle the fact that they were rejected. And when you actually see what Mark Hamill had to say, it's one of the most cringiest things out there, and at the same time just shows you how irrelevant he truly is. Thanks to everyone, including me, in so many starter packs. That said, I'm still in a state of shock, trying to process what happened to our country since the election. So I won't be posting on a daily basis. I'll be back at some point. But please forgive me. Healing takes time. Love you all, Mark Hamill. These people are sad. TDS is a hell of a drug, and it truly breaks people. Mark Hamill is a broken, fractured person that without his politics, he's irrelevant. At one point in time, yeah, he was Luke Skywalker, the voice of Fire Lord Ozai, the voice of Joker. He was known for these three roles. And outside those three roles, he's an absolute nobody. He's not a star. He's not a person that's going to put butts in seats. He's irrelevant. And all he had going for him was politics, was the political angle. That's why you were seeing, videos of him going out there with Joe Biden and calling him Joby-Wan Kenobi. That's why, unprompted, over at a recent con, you saw Mark Hamill tell his audience, if you're MAGA, go force yourself, and then encourages people to stay away from the orange side. He was unprompted in this panel. Nobody brought up politics. He's the one that brought up politics because that's all he has is politics. But because he lives in his own little bubble, because he lives in this tiny little Hollywood elitist bubble, he can't realize that a person in small town Kansas, a person in small town Oklahoma, an everyday individual from Georgia, any of these things would vote against him, wouldn't agree with him. When the average everyday citizen says, no, we want the other person, we don't like what you're shoveling out to us, he thinks we're just toxic people and can't recognize that, no, he's the toxic person. He's the person that has to have his political beliefs constantly reinforced on him, so much so that when he gets a little bit of pushback, he finally flees X, goes over to Blue Sky, and then he can't even accept his own safe space on Blue Sky and has to go deal with his stuff elsewhere and has to basically say, I'm leaving the internet altogether because these people are sick and broken. It fundamentally baffles the mind when I see people like this. For instance, with me, here's my phone. If I want an internet break, I turn it off and I go away. I go do something else. These people can't do it because they need the validation. They need to constantly communicate with somebody. They can't go a day without looking themselves up on the phone. And we've been seeing people like this constantly. A lot of these Hollywood people are just sick and broken. Another good example recently was Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner checks himself into a facility over Trump election. He also went to Blue Sky. He fled X, went to Blue Sky, and then said that he had to check himself into a mental institution because he can't handle the Trump election. He can't handle people talking about Trump. He's so fractured, he can't deal with it, so he had to institutionalize himself. And another person, Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo came out at an ACLU event and said that after the election, he couldn't drag himself out of bed for a week. These people are sad. They can't get out of their own narcissistic bubble. They don't understand that nobody truly likes what they have to peddle. And instead of recognizing that and reconciling with that and trying to understand what the other side has to say, they're institutionalizing themselves. They're logging off the internet. They're going into their own little bubbles. They're saying they can't leave bed because they're crying all the time. These people need real help. And instead of getting it, all they are doing is isolating themselves more and more because they can't realize that the everyday person, the person that works at the mom and pop shop, the person that is working their butt off to put food on the table, rejected them, rejected their belief structures, and rejected the politics that they were trying to force on the rest of the world. These people are sad, narcissistic individuals, and they'll never be able to get out of their own way. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video live, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.